Hey. We have five viewers at the moment. Sorry about we had a bit of a mishap with the other links, so let's just give everyone a few minutes to join. Paula Valdés sent out an email right now to everyone whose account executive is her. So let's just wait a few minutes for everyone to join. Can you guys hear us properly? Hey, so Lane says hi. Hi, Paula and Paula.
Hola, Lane. Hola, Andrea. Two of my TSF girls.
Yay, present. Camila's here. So we only have 9 viewers at the moment. Let's just wait a bit more. Okay, so I guess we can start right now since this is meant to be less people than the Step 2 webinar. So I'll start by introducing myself again. I'm Paula Enei. I'm your community builder. I'm in charge of all of your visa and landing process in general. So if you have any doubts about that, I'm very happy to answer them again. And this is Paula Valdés. For those of you who haven't met her, she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paula Valdés. So yeah, I'm sure that you've mixed up the both of us. But I'm your account executive, so I'm kind of like your best friend during the program. So anything that you need, I will be the person in charge to connect you with the rest of the staff. And of course, following up the development of your program, of your startup in terms of activities and in terms of the budget that you are going to use.
Great, thank you, Paula. So the idea of this webinar is more specific. If you guys have any specific doubts about your visa or other financial questions, we're here just you can ask us anything, and we'll be happy to answer through the chat. Hey, Andre just joined. So I wanted also to start off by congratulating all of you. We're only 2 weeks away from you guys coming here to Chile and starting your acceleration program with Startup Chile. It's going to be super exciting, intense, and good, and we can't wait to meet all of you in person. So just shoot questions you've got. We're here to answer them.
I'm going to start to say something. So today, I'm going to send an email about the type of contract that you want to have with Corfo, meaning the condition under what you're going to receive the grant. So it could be either reimbursement, which means that you are going to spend your own money, then you present the expenses to Corfo, and then Corfo will reimburse that amount of money, or with a lump sum agreement, which means that you are going to receive the money in advance. But for that, you will need to pay an insurance with an insurance company that will safeguard the money for Corfo, and then we can give you the money in advance. For that, we will send you all the information at a proper time, so don't worry, we work directly with an insurance company. So once the program starts, officially, once you arrive in Santiago, and the Chileans are also officially part of the program, once we started in July, then we will send you the step-by-step for you to do and for you to pay and all the information. So today I'm going to send this email about you choosing what type of contract you want for you to answer right away. And also, this new generation, your generation, has the possibility to extend the endurance of your participation in the program. So the standard time that we previously managed was 6 months, but now you can choose to develop your startup with Startup Chile during 9 months. So on that same email, I will include the question that how many months do you want to participate in Startup Chile? Between 6 or 9. It could be 7, it could be 8, but it depends on the activities and the milestones that that you are going to set with us, and the use of the budget. So if you think you need 8 months to spend all the money and do your activities and accomplish your milestones during Startup Chile, then please choose that. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Great. Thank you, Paula. Okay, for all of those who are just joining us, sorry about the confusion with the link. Happy you're here. The idea of this webinar is that you guys just ask us more detailed questions you might have at this point of your landing process. So we'll start out by one made by Andrea Higuera. So her question is related to the extension of their visa. So she already has her visa for Chile, but she needs to renew it. And in the roadmap we sent out, she found that there's a paragraph saying that their Chilean accounts will be blocked if their visa is not extended. So there's just a bit of a gap, I understand, between the renewal of your visa and the expiration of your previous one. So she wants to know if her Chilean bank accounts will be blocked. So Andrea, this is a very specific case. So we'll go through this, but with our financial officer, because it will vary from case to case. There is no general answer to this. So thank you for your patience. We'll get back to you on your question. So E, we don't know what your name is, but he wants or she wants to know, if we choose non-reimbursement, are Chilean permanent residents required to pay insurance on the grant?
Evelyn, are you there? If we choose non-reimbursement, are Chilean permanent residents required to pay insurance? Yeah, of course. Like if you choose non-reimbursement, it means that you are choosing the lump sum agreement to get the money in advance. And if you choose that, yeah, it's Evelyn. If you choose that, then you will have to do the insurance, which has a cost of $500 that you will be able to put in the budget to be like included in the expenses.
Okay, so Jean-Philippe has a question. Is it possible to quote the Chilean company with our foreign one? The foreign company already paid for marketing, logo. The foreign company also owns the IP.
Jean-Philippe, which one is your project? Is it possible to? Okay, so the program is meant to give the money or to support people, not companies. The only companies that are accepted to do expenses are the Chilean companies, because okay. So your Brazilian company, if you already made expenses, what needs to happen is that you're going to reimburse either from your account or Rodolfo's account to the account of the company. Again, the program is meant to fund people, not companies. And now we are accepting companies, but they have to be Chilean companies. Okay, so if you already made some expenses, it's French. Oh, maybe I had the wrong information here. Well, then your French company. So any expense that you made with your company, you will have to reimburse to the company so that we can close the gap between who made the expense.
Thank you, Paula. Okay, so Andrea and Lane, we'll get back to you guys on this specific question, but don't worry, we'll find a way to make things work out. So Giancarlo Solis asks, if I choose 6 months, can I increase the time later? What exactly are you?
Okay, so yeah, there's but only for 1 month. Like the thing that why we ask so in advance is because we have to make the contracts before you arrive. That way, when you arrive the first week, we will send you the official documents so you can start signing up. And then we cannot change it, but we will have the possibility to extend the program for just 1 more month. And that will be open for everyone, either if you choose 6, 7, or 8 months. Then at the end, if you still need 1 more month, you will be able to ask it. and that has to be supported by reasons like you need more time to achieve, I don't know, a milestone, or to develop your platform, or I don't know, you're closing with a really important client and you still need to be part of Startup Chile. So it depends on the reasons, but they have to be like that, not budget related. Like I need more time to spend the money. No, because the first month you will be able to planify all your expenses within the time that you previously set.
Evelyn, you have the same concern as Andrea and Lane. We'll also get back to you on that. So she also wants to know, if we choose 8 months and we finish spending the money sooner, can we finish our contract sooner?
Yes, that will be possible, Evelyn. Yeah.
Okay. So Rodolfo wants to know on expenses. He wants to know if participating on the global intellectual property expenses.
I don't think I understand the question.
Yeah, could you rephrase that, please? Andre, do 3 extra months come with higher budget?
No, it's just time, not money.
So we're waiting on Rodolfo to rephrase his question so we can understand it and answer it. So guys, the important thing for now is that all of you are here, the team leaders are here by July 3rd. So it's mandatory for you guys to be here during the first 2 weeks, because important things happens those weeks, important workshops, and also you come here, you register your visa, we get you a Chilean foreigner root number and open a bank account for you guys. So you must be here, it's mandatory. Evelyn wants to know, but will we continue the ability to get monthly salary, correct?
I mean, yeah, salaries are monthly, but if you finish spending the money sooner, then there's not going to be any more money to reimburse salaries. So it depends on how you end up spending the money. But if the salaries will be month by month with the same amount, as written on the terms and conditions, but if you finish late before to spend the money, then the process will end when you spend the money and you accomplish your milestones.
Great.
Rodolfo, I did receive your email. I haven't answered it yet. I received it today, like an hour before, so as soon as I can, I will reply to you. And if you want to add more questions, just send me another email.
Great. So do any of you guys have any other questions? This is a very small webinar. It's only 24 of us. So I don't know if you have more questions, if something is still unclear, or if there's anything else we can help you out with. Because if not, then we'll just take the webinar to an end. Okay, so Andrea has a new question. If we have to pay for changing the departure date of our tickets, we already bought them without knowing that we can choose between 6 and 9 months. Could we present that as an expense for the program?
Yes, you can, Andrea. There's no problem with that.
Great, good news. So Evelyn, Paula Valdés, are you able to approach expenses not related to visas and travel now?
Not for now, but we can start organizing, so you can send me budgets, like tentative budgets and activities that you're going to do, so we can speed up that process.
Great. So it seems like our TSF girls are the most participating right now. Sure, well, okay.
Evelyn was also from TSF.
Evelyn? Yeah. Okay, so Andres Stani, if I choose the salary option instead of the accommodation, can I also have a salary from my company?
I mean, that will be on your own. So, I mean, that's like a personal decision. We cannot go as far as that. We only manage the money that Startup Chile is giving to you and the things that you are presenting to us. So if you choose to have double salary, it depends on you, but we're just going to pay the one that belongs to Startup Chile.
John Philippe wants to know if we reimburse flight tickets for international meetings.
Yes, so business trips can be approved. You need to, once we start the program, you will be able to send all the information, meaning where you're going to go, for how long, and what's the purpose. I'm going to ask like a little report about it. And then you can reimburse flight tickets, bus tickets, train tickets, and stay-ins, meaning hotel or hostels. No Uber or transportation within the city.
Great. Seems like you guys are pretty well informed in general because we're not receiving too many questions right now. Margaret Nanyombi wants to know, one Paula said the guarantor insurance is 1,200 and another Paula said, just said we need $500 for the insurance. What is the exact amount for insurance to access the grant in advance?
Yo creo que tú eres la Paula de 1,200
Sí.
y yo soy la Paula de 500.
Sí.
A mí el Chris me dijo 500.
A mí el Benny me dijo más. $1,000.
No, ni cagando, son 700 euros.
Okay, so, no, isn't it?
No.
Okay, so Paula, as your account executive, has the exact number.
So, I mean, not the exact number, but the number that we're managing now with the insurance company, it's about $500. So it's never more than 600. So, but maybe Paula did say that because to give you like a space where you can planify accordingly, do not have any extra problems. But for now, the number that we're managing with the insurance company, it's about $500.
Okay, so still, Margaret, just to be clear, and to everyone here, Santiago is an expensive city. We could say it's like Rome or other European cities.
Yes.
So you guys have to plan your finances accordingly to that. That said, also, once you get here, we have to do many processes in order for you guys to receive your payments. So you must come with at least $4,000 for your own expenses, accommodation, and general lifestyle. So that plus the $500 from the guarantee. So you have to have $5,000 in order to not be struggling financially. Okay, so Rodolfo has another question. If I want to rent a car to go to the mining areas outside Santiago, is it refunded?
Yes, it can be refunded. It has different requirements that I can give you, of course, I mean, to all of you once the program starts. But yes, you can rent a car. You will have to present the factura, boleta, or invoice from the company. You will have to take a picture of the tablero. What's the word?
Of the...
like with the fuel and kilometers information, like a picture. The company also has to provide like an information sheet where they say how many kilometers does the car has, how much you're going to spend on gasoline, things like that. But yes, it can be approved.
Lane wants to know, we can't expense the salary until the company is incorporated in Chile, correct?
Yes, correct.
The same contracting and ISAPRE? ISAPRE's health insurance.
Yeah, because the ISAPRE will go with the salary, like will be part of the legal discounts, then that way we can like approve all those expenses. But Lane, if you're, because you know that are already in Chile, and if you're opening a company here in Chile, let's talk so I can give you the information about what you need to present for Corfo for them to approve you the company. So everyone that is either Chilean or non-Chilean that it's planning to open a company to present expenses with us, you can do it. And once you open the company, you need to send me all the information so I can present it to Corfo's lawyers. The Corfo lawyer will review it and they will say yes. And from that moment, you will be able to do expenses as a company. If the company is not approved by Corfo, then you're risking to have expenses that will not be approved.
Great. Alexis, hi, a question about the first month and a half expenses, meaning before getting the first payment. Is it possible to ask payments for that period? Yeah, could you rephrase your question? Like salaries or housing expenses, or all the payments starts after that time?
Okay, so all expenses, like there are some expenses that already started since you received that first email saying that you were part of Startup Chile. And then once the program starts, meaning on July, meaning when we meet each other and we talk about objectives and goals and milestones. From that moment, you can start spending in other things. And once you receive the money, you can reimburse yourself and manage the money part of the program. But like official expenses starts on July 3rd when the program starts, and all the expenses that you've been doing in between are related for you to come to Chile or to have everything set up to start the program.
So Evelyn wants to know, is the insurance about 500 USD total of the multiple insurance payments?
Yes, just one payment for $500 that will cover the whole grant, meaning the 20 million.
Okay, Andrea, if there's a freelancer who can start to work with us from now, will you reimburse the money that we pay him for the time he works before the contract officially starts?
I cannot say that for now because, as we already told in several emails or different information, we need to check your milestones, objectives, and we need to planify the budget because everything is going to be related. We will give you some templates for you to do it. We will have different meetings, and once we set up that, the whole process can, the expenses will be approved for the whole program. So for now, just concentrate on the expenses that we already said that we can do it, meaning visas, police background check, vaccines. Sometimes your country will ask you to go to the doctor to get some vaccines, anything like that.
Okay, thank you, Paula. So Rodolfo wants to know, can I get a refund for the translation of my non-Chilean driving license?
It could be possible, yes.
Rita Brata, for the model where founders draw salaries and establish Chilean companies, can there be additional reimbursement for outsourcing expenses, hiring Indian developers?
Hi, Rito. We already talked by Skype like a few minutes ago. So yes, as I've said, so one thing is going to be your salary and your team members, and other things will be the salary that you pay either to Chilean residents that will be working with you in Chile, or outsourcing, meaning workers that are working for you, for your startup, but outside Chile. That will be an outsourcing, and yes, you can pay salaries. Salaries are defined by the market price, and everything will be discussed with me once you arrive to the program.
Okay, Pablo Lagos wants to know, can I receive the salary if I am currently being paid from my Chilean company?
Okay, Paulo, so you applied as a company, Informatica Capital, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, the salary has to come from your company. And the salaries will start counting from July on. Yes.
Great. Evelyn, but we have to wait until after the program starts and after we sign the contract to start incorporation expenses, correct?
Yeah, if you apply as a person, like you, Evelyn, then there's this rule that if you send me an email today, for example, no, we have to wait until you're officially part of Corfo. Once that happens, you can send me an email saying, here's all the requirements to present to Corfo to approve the company. And then you can make 10 days later, you can do the first expense. So even, yeah, in that way, the company will be approved. So yes, you will have to wait until the program starts because until now, you're not officially part of Corfo because you haven't signed the contract. Once that's signed, we can do all the rest of the things.
Great, thank you, Paula. So Andrea wants to know, we already registered in Servicio Impuestos Internos, sí. When we were in TSF, is it enough to get our salaries? I'm confused about the incorporation part.
Andrea, the process changed, so it's not going to be the same as TSF. That's why you're hearing so much about incorporation, because salaries are only meant for people that are working for a Chilean company. So that's why many startups are incorporating here in Chile. So if you want to receive a salary, you will need to register your company here in Chile, present that information to Corfo. Corfo will say yes, and then you can pay your own salaries for you and Alejandro. but it's not the same process as TSF.
Okay, Paula wants to know, can we hire a freelancer from freelancer.com or similar?
Yes.
Great. Victor, the salaries from the company has to be by liquidación de sueldo?
Yes, liquidación de sueldo, they have to be signed, and you will have to present the contract that the worker has with the company.
Evelyn, when you say officially part of Corfo, do you mean sign the contract with Corfo?
Yes.
Or do you mean by July 3rd?
No, sign the contract with Corfo.
Thank you. Andrea says thank you. Let's just wait to see if anyone else has more questions. Give it a minute or two. We know you guys feel a bit confused about all of the information previous to landing. The girls from TSF are already more familiar with all of Startup Chile processes. So Evelyn, Andres wants to know, I can't understand really well why the salary limit is so low if living in Santiago is so expensive.
Okay, so Startup Chile is the only program that allows salaries to founders in Corfo. So it's an exception. It's the limit that they manage that is reasonable. So it's, for me, it will be more, but I mean, that's the rule and we cannot change it. It's on the terms and conditions, and the terms and conditions are previously set.
Mm-hmm. Evelyn, how long do you think it will take to get the contracts?
So today I'm going to send an email about the type of contract. Probably on the 10th of July we will receive it and you will start signing it. So at the end of the month, everything should be in order.
Mm-hmm. So Andres, again, with a bit more detailed question about the salary. That's just the terms and conditions, Andres, but we have many generations that from Startup Chile that have managed paying themselves the $700,000 salary.
It was less.
It was less before. So maybe you can speak with alumni and find a way to work it out. Margaret, where can we get health insurance, or which international insurance companies can we get health insurance with? Okay, so health insurance is voluntary. It's not a mandatory insurance to get with Startup Chile, but health is also something that is very expensive in Chile. So we highly, highly recommend you guys to contract health insurance just in case you have any medical issues once you're here in Chile. Suppers have had medical issues before, and without insurance, it's just not convenient. You will get probably in a financial hole because it's very expensive. So we don't have any recommendations we can make. That's up to you guys. We just suggest that you get health insurance and also travel insurance.
Travel insurance is the same.
It's the same.
Yeah,
so.
The travel insurance will cover you in terms of health. So yeah, it's not mandatory, but we highly recommend it because we've seen other suppers with problems, like medical problems. And you need to know that health expenses here in Chile are really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you need to be covered because you never know, you can get we're not saying that you're going to get sick, but something can happen, an accident or something. And if you're not covered, it could be a problem for you and for your family that is waiting for you on your home country.
Exactly. So Rodolfo has a question regarding the visa. I will live outside Santiago. Does it change where I ask the visa? No, your visa is for Chile in general. And may I change my visa to Mercosur visa when I arrive since I am from Mercosur? The visa Startup Chile offers you is a 365-day temporary residence visa. What you do with your visa after that is up to you. But with us, we can assure you you have a 365-day visa residence here in Chile, which you already obtained. Evelyn, the end of the month of June or July? July. Jose Antonio Massaro, can you say the dates of when we sign the contract, deliver the budget, deliver the insurance?
Okay, so signing the contract will be at the same time of the insurance. So probably you're going to sign the contract the 14th of July. Then you will do all the things with the insurance. That won't take more than 3 days. And deliver the budget. We expect it for you to have it on your account the end of July, first days of August.
Fantastic. Lane, can I still expense my international emergency health travel insurance as in TSF before I change to a Chilean ISAPRE?
Yes.
Great. Andrea, would you recommend us a particular type of company to incorporate, and how much would you say that will cost to us?
So in Chile, we have this thing called a company in a day, empresa en un día, where you will find all that information, and it literally takes 1 day for you to open a company. It's an SPA, which is a society by action. So meaning that each of the members of the startup can manage a certain quote of the property of the startup, but at least you need to be the owner of 20% of it.
Great. Jose Antonio, I participated in another Corfos program with my company. We need to revalidate the company again. Are you incorporated in Chile, Jose Antonio?
Sí, participo en...
Okay, I'll go to...
What's the name of the startup of Jose Antonio?
Can you write your startup's name, Jose Antonio? We'll get back to you with that question. Now I'm moving on to Margaret's as we wait. Thank you. Is health insurance covered on the grant?
Yes.
But travel insurance is, right?
I mean, travel insurance will be the same as health insurance, right?
Okay.
That's what
Right.
Yeah. I mean, travel insurance, when we talk about travel insurance, is for the health purpose, right? Like,
it's the same.
It's the same.
Hire travel insurance that covers health.
Yeah.
Victor, can we, Chilean companies, get a bank account with you? What
Yes.
kind of account? With credit card? We are currently managing that, and the banks doesn't want to give us nothing.
Yeah, Victor, we are currently in conversations with BCI. So we can send me an email so I can start seeing the possibilities or the things that you need to present for them to open you an account.
Great. May an SA be incorporated in 1 day?
I don't think so. I think it's only for SPA, which is Society by Actions, I think.
Andrea, I am planning on SPA.
Brave Up.
Brave Up is Jose Antonio's startup.
Okay. So Jose Antonio, you apply as a company, so the company is already approved. So all expenses need to be under the company's name.
Great. Niraj, what if I do not incorporate the company in Chile?
Nothing happens, but you cannot receive a salary. And you can receive accommodations or housing.
Great. Margaret, I went to the embassy today and they insisted my team members need individual invitation letters to apply for the temporary resident visa. How can we go about this? Okay, Margaret, so they don't. We spoke with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs about this, and the invitation, as I explained to you yesterday, extends to your team members. This particular embassy is being difficult, I guess. It's a consulate, right, in Nairobi. So let me send you a document from Startup Chile saying that the invitation letter extends to all of your team members, and they can take that letter with them to the consulate, and that should be enough. Okay, Jose Antonio says thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, Margaret, Rito, he's from India, but he had the same trouble.
Yeah.
And then his team member presented the letter, and they said it was okay.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I think it will be the same for you.
Mm-hmm. Andrea, the costs of incorporating will be reimbursed, right?
Yes.
Lane, for any non-Chileans, be aware that you need to have a Chilean citizen designated as your office legal representation in Chile in order to incorporate. That's what happened to you, Lane, in your experience? Un aval? Okay, so Evelyn, I heard from past Startup Chile people that the Chilean company in 1 day online will not work for startups, and you need to hire a lawyer to incorporate in Chile.
No, I mean, yes, you can do it through a lawyer or you can do it by yourself. People tend to hire a lawyer, and that expense could be included on the budget because they know better the legal terms and are natives, so they know all the administrative things in Chile, but it works for startups because we've seen it in Generation 17. Many of them are incorporating their startup as a company here in Chile. Some have done it through a lawyer, some have done it on their own.
Okay, Lane explains a bit more on her previous comment. I have been to a few seminars on incorporating, one particularly for foreigners, and they emphasize this. They don't have to do anything, but there must be a Chilean associated.
You can start asking to the people in Generation 17 because they've done it and they haven't had like a real issue besides maybe opening a bank account for their company. But yes, people are opening SPAs, SPA here in Chile, and you can ask for recommendations of lawyers to have like the certainty that someone is going to help you with the process.
Great. So we have news for you guys. We were gonna announce it on Friday, I guess, for your generation, but we've created something called landing buddies. So where people from the previous generation, which is Generation 17, are put together with people from your generation, so you can connect a bit previously to the program, and once you land here in Chile, they can be your buddies, like your first sub-friends, I guess, and then you can ask them these kind of questions. How did they manage to get through all of these processes? You'll get to know your landing buddy by the end of this week. Okay, so Margaret, how much would lawyers charge to help with the incorporation?
It depends on the lawyer, but could be around 500 USD. It depends on the lawyer.
Okay, Andres. The co-working location will finally be in Providencia 229. No, it will be changed. It's going to be in Monjitas. We'll send out the exact address as soon as possible, but it won't be there. It's in Monjitas. It's in the center of Santiago. Alejandro, when will be available the perks offered in the program? Assure us, etc.
From July 3rd, when the program officially starts, like officially meaning the activities, not the signing of the contract.
Great. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, we'll just give you guys a couple of minutes to see if anyone has any other questions, or else we'll just wrap up. Evelyn, will we be able to work in any other spaces? No, that one will be designated as a space for seed generation, for all the seed generations. So that's your official working space. Lane, I have heard the same recommendation for a lawyer. Also, the Banco de Estado is the easiest for getting a first company bank account and where most startups get their first account. Great, that's really up to you in the end. Rita Brata, what is the postal zip code of Santiago? Need this for travel insurance and I'm trying to get in India. I think you can look that up in Google, Rita Brata, probably. I mean, and the zip code will also depend on where you're living. So you have to put your address, like where you're gonna be living when you just arrive here, or else you can just put the postal code for our office address. I'll write that down. Victor, the co-work is where all the activities are going to be. In July, the activities will be in different places. We will announce the places for each activity when the time comes. But as of August, all of the activities will happen at the co-work. If I applied as a person, not a company, the only expenses that will be reimbursed on my new Chilean company's name are our salaries. Am I right?
If I apply as a person, not a company, the only expenses that will be reimbursed. Company's name. I mean, or others, like if you start receiving invoices, like Chilean invoices to your Chilean company, that can also be approved.
Great. So Evelyn nicely suggested Rita Brata go to correoschile.cl to look up the postal codes. Okay, guys, seems like you don't have any other questions, so let's wrap it up here. If you have any other particular questions, just reach out to either Paula and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We're actually pretty happy that all of your questions have more to do with what's going to happen once you are in Chile other than what's going on now. So that seems like everything is in order for you guys. We're going to close with Jean-Philippe's question. You're just in time. So, and then we'll wrap this webinar up. Foreign company invoices can't be approved?
No, because the program is meant to fund people, not person, and the only companies that are allowed are Chilean companies. Invoices need to be addressed either to the team leader, the team members, or the Chilean company, nothing else.
Okay, we can't be unfair and now listen to Victor's question. We are incorporated in Concepcion. Can we reimburse the cost of housing and travel to Santiago for these activities on July?
When you say you are incorporated in Concepcion, is that you're working in Concepcion? If that's the case, yes, you can reimburse the cost of housing and travel to Santiago for the mandatory activities in July and the rest of the program.
Great. Also, Niraj has a patent lawyer in India. Can that be reimbursed?
Yes, it could be reimbursed.
Great. And Margaret says, thank you. This was very helpful. We hope it was, Margaret. Thank you guys for participating. So once again, any other questions you have, just reach out to our emails and we'll answer you guys as soon as we can. Ciao. Take care.
Bye.